Okay, the last operation with radicals, of course we still have solving radicals to do, is dividing. Now, someone made a rule that you're not allowed to have a radical in the denominator of your fraction. So we have to do something to get rid of the radical in the denominator. It's called rationalizing the denominator. So I can multiply the same thing to the top and the bottom because it's the same as multiplying by 1. So what could I multiply the top and the bottom by that the radical would disappear? Well, I could multiply to make a perfect square. In this case, if I multiplied by square root of 3, I'd have square root of 9, which is 3. Which would be square root of 3 over 3. Now this is tricky. To get rid of the cube root, I need a perfect cube on the bottom. And what could I multiply 4 by to get a perfect cube? Well, notice 4 already has 2 2's in it. So if I multiplied by one more 2 to get 3 2's, I could get rid of the cube root. So I'd multiply the top and the bottom by cube root of 2. So you'd have 2 cube root of 2 over cube root of 8. The cube root of 8 is 2. So it would simplify to cube root of 2. So this one, I need a perfect square because it's a square root. So what would I multiply this by to get a perfect square on the bottom? Well, square root of 10. So I'd have 5 square root of 10 over square root of 100. 100 is 10, square root of 100 is 10. And then that simplifies. 5 goes into 10 2 times. Now you can never divide something inside a radical by something outside. So my peeps, what would this be? That's a 5. We'd multiply top and bottom by square root of 5. So it'd be square root of 5 over square root of 25, which is square root of 5 over 5. Now this one, you could do square root of 20 and then simplify later because there's a perfect square, or I could simplify it first. 20 is 4 and 5, so I could simplify that to 2 square root of 5. Square root of 4 times square root of 5. Then multiply the top and the bottom by square root of 5. Oops. So this would be square root of 5 over square root of 5 is 5, square root of 25, which is 5 times 2 is 10. Now, this one, I need to get rid of this. If I multiply by square root of 5, you distribute, you'd have 3 square root of 5 plus 5. I still got a square root. So what we're going to do is set up the difference of two squares and multiply by the same term, just switching the middle sign. So I distribute the 1, so that'd be 3 minus square root of 5 on the top. And on the bottom, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 square root of 5 minus 3 square root of 5 is 0. Then 5 times the negative square root of 5 is negative square root of 25. So this would be 3 minus square root of 5 over 9 minus 5, which is 4. Square root of 25 is 5. So this one, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 4 plus square root of 3. So I distribute the 2, I'd have 8 plus 2 square root of 3. 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 4 square root of 3 plus 4 square root of 3 is 0. Then negative square root of 3 times square root of 3 is minus square root of 9, which is 3. So I'd have 8 plus 2 square root of 3 over 13. So it's always the same process. So same term, if I have a integer or a number plus or minus the square root, I go 6 plus square root of 2. which would be 36 plus 6 square root of 2 over 36, 6 square root of 2 minus 6 square root of 2, or minus 6 square root of 2 plus 6 square root of 2, that's 0, minus square root of 4, which is 2. So that would be 36 plus 6 square root of 2 over 34. Now, if I have a number that goes into all three terms, I can simplify it. If the number just goes in the first two or the last, then you can't. But if it goes in all three, you can, and I can. There's a number 2. So I'm going to reduce everything by 2. So 18 plus 3 square root of 2 over 17. So right now, my peeps, what would I multiply the top and the bottom by? That's all I'm asking. What would I multiply top and bottom by? 6 minus square root of 6. Now the top I distribute, so that would be 6 square root of 10 minus square root of 60. Ooh, that's tricky. And this one, I would have 6 and 6 is 36. 6 square root of 6 minus 6 square root of 6 is 0. Square root of 6 times negative square root of 6 would be minus 6. Because any square root times itself is just itself. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4, which is 2. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9, which is 3. Now 60 is 4 and 15. So this would be 2 square root of 15 all over 30. And hey, there's a number that goes into all three terms, and that is 2. So it'd be 3 square root of 10 minus square root of 15 all over 15. And that is rationalizing the denominator. So hopefully that was good for you. Now that's enough for today. Don't forget Friday, you're going right to the quiz on Friday. And then Monday we'll have some videos for you. So anyways, have a good day.